Does it change? Today we have a Triumph Scrambler 1200 XC here, which needs new tires. It has a pretty worn out endless tire, and we're replacing it with Continental TKC 70 rocks. There are some special things that I'd like to point out before we start. The rim here has outside spokes, which means that the spokes are mounted to the outer edge of the rim, not inside the tire like many other bikes do. For that we're using a special duck head, which is wider from here because the rim profile is also wider. Another thing is that with the spoked rims we don't recommend using the stopper pin because it may harm the spokes. For that purpose we will use a strap which will go under the rim and fix to a spoke. I will show that later. As always, the first step is to deflate the tire. Then grab the bead breaker, bring it close to the rim, and break the bead. I can see from here that this particular bike does not have a tire pressure monitoring system, so I don't need to be that careful with that, but I'm just gonna act as it would have so you can get the idea how it works if it has one. Okay, I'm gonna bring it closer a little bit so it won't slide over the tire, but we'll push it off nicely. Here you go. And to make the dismounting easier, I will put some bead grease to the tire. Now it's time to mount the duck head. Okay, position the duck head at 6 o'clock because this is the best place to start dismounting. And now I will mount the strap and put it on the back side of the wheel around the spoke, which is pointing down, so it will not harm the spoke so easily. And make sure the strap is as close to the rim as possible, so there will be not so many forces bending the spoke. All right. And the strap is somewhere around 5 o'clock if you're looking from the front. I'm going to use a tire iron now. Put it here, and at the same time, it is very important now to push the bead to the drop center so it will be easy to get the tire over the duck head. Once you have done that, position the ratchet system in front of you so you can always work from that side and start moving around. Go back to 6 o'clock. And now do the same thing with the lower bead. Okay, tire dismounted. Here's the new one, Continental TKC70. Gonna grease it nicely. Grease and drop center are the #1 keywords for successful tire changes. Here we go. Now let's check the direction of the tire. It goes this way. The sprocket is on the right side of the bike, so that means I will have to mount it that way. For mounting, it's good to keep the tuck head at 12 o'clock, and I have the tire pressure monitoring system here around 5 o'clock. Mount as much as you can by just pushing it on, and then do the rest with the tuck head. Come back up to 12 o'clock. We'll put some more grease here, make the work easier. Now it seems I will need some help from the tire iron. Okay. So let's see if I can get this thing mounted without drop center tools. If not, we will use the drop center tools. Now the most important thing at this point is that you have the tire bead sitting in the drop center of the rim. So this part here, which enables the remaining part go over the rim. Here you go. Okay, once the tire is mounted, release the strap, remove the duck head. Final thing you need to do is balance the tire if you're using it for road riding. You can use a simple tabletop manual balancer for that. Many track day guys do that, so it's perfectly fine to use even for high speeds. The key takeaway from this tire change is that if you feel you are using too much force when operating the duck head, there is a risk of damaging the spokes or the tire. To avoid that, make sure you're using enough bead grease and that you're getting the tire into the drop center from the opposite side of the duck head. This will make sure you'll get the tire mounted easily and do no harm. So, does it change a Triumph Scrambler rear tire? Yes, it does.